And then I looked at him and I said, this is how you do it. When Nelson Mandela was freed and he came to Holland and I was the one who could meet him, and I still got goosebumps. And that was a hard wake-up call for you. You don't always get what you deserve.
Ruud Gullit, so happy to have you in the podcast.
I'm also very, very happy to be here. So I'm curious. I saw already some episodes, so it looks all good.
We start the usual, like a tradition. Could you please introduce yourself in your own words?
Okay, my name is Ruud Gullit. I'm a happy guy. You don't get me angry very, very easy, but when you do, then... But the good thing about it is that when you do things to me that is not right, the universe always, clears it up for me.
Look, I want to take you back a long time ago. You have to go back into your memory, your childhood, growing up in Amsterdam. Can you tell us a little bit about this?
I think that I've grown the first 11, 12 years of my life. I was in a typical neighborhood of Amsterdam. It's called the Jordaan. It comes from French, Le Jardin.
Le Jardin?
Yeah, because it was all the names of the streets will have flowers.
Okay.
So my street was the Rose Street. So I have had a great youth. There was a time that people took after each other. It was a small neighborhood, little streets and everything. People know each other, take care of each other. I was a happy child.
Happy child.
And my mom didn't have a lot. I lived a lot with my mom alone. And my grandfather. My grandfather lived on the Bloemstraat, that is Flower Street. Bloemgracht, that's a canal. There's a little canal there. So my I have been raised a lot of times more than my father than by my mom and my grandfather. And I look, we lived in a place that was not bigger than this.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, I didn't have the feeling that we didn't have that much money, even though I was happy, and my mom gave me, and of course, things was much cheaper there. For a dime or 25 cents, you could get some candy, you could buy something. So I had a happy childhood, yes.
So your mom gave you the love?
Yes, and of course my father was there as well, but my father had also other families.
Okay.
So therefore I was, my father was there, of course. He brought me into football, he was...
That was my next question. Who gave you the bug, the football?
Yeah, my father brought me always to the park where he was in Suriname. When he was a player in Suriname, he was playing there for one of the biggest clubs there. Not as a professional, I think, but just he was a reasonably good footballer. And then when he came to Amsterdam, and my father came to Amsterdam in the 50s, 59, something like that. He came to Amsterdam, and my father comes out. The family of my father comes out of a family all of teachers. My grandfather was a school, and he was the head of the teachers of the school there.
Right.
And all the kids also was all teachers. Mm-hmm. And my father didn't want to be a teacher, but eventually, when the university in Amsterdam, and in those days they had a feeling that there had to be also some black people on the university. And my father got that invite, and he took it, and he became a teacher. So therefore, my father was there. He brought me into football.
And then the natural progression takes you to your first club, Haarlem.
Yeah, but that then I moved from the Jordaan. I moved to the west of Amsterdam, and that was for me the biggest revelation and the biggest development of football, because close to my house.
It's a family move or?
Family move, yeah.
Okay.
We moved, my mom and I moved to a bigger house in West.
Okay.
And close to the house, we had a big square where you could play football. So we played Every day we played there.
Hours.
Every day.
Hours.
You come from school, up, you were there playing football. When we I had to go then with the tram to go to school. And when I was with the tram, that's where I learned, where I get to know Frank Rijkaard. Frank was there. We didn't, because he was living something like 400 meters or 300 meters from my house, and he came from the other side. So we met each other at the tram. So therefore, I said to him, "Look, here's a big square. You can play there." So he came. So we played every day together. We played football there.
Now I take you to Haarlem. Right?
Yes, and can you imagine? I was asked already the year before. And my father said and the guy who was there was Buddy Hughes, was the coach, and he said, yes, it is too early for him to go already there.
Right.
And before that was Ajax also coming to me. They wanted me also.
Okay.
And Ajax called me on the phone, because in those days you didn't know who was on the other side of the phone. Eh? You had to answer it, and you say, "Okay, this is house." And so therefore they wanted me also, and I told them, I said, "Yeah, okay, that's nice, but can you come to my house, because my father works till 6 and my mother works till 6. So after, can you come to my house and we can talk about it?" And they said, "No, we don't do that." You know, I said, "That is strange. You want me?" No. You have to be happy to play for Ajax. I said, "That's not a very warm welcome here." I said, I think leave it. I don't need that attitude. Later, these people came to me after my career and they said, "Unbelievable. For somebody who is 15 years old in those days, telling us that that's unbelievable." Yeah. I said, "Yeah, my career went in a different way, but still made it anyway." So therefore, a year later, after that came, when 16 came by the Hughes, my father said, "No, come the next year." And the next year, the same, that day, he came again. And so I was impressed. I felt warmth. And I said, "Okay, I come to..." And it was a lower club. It was a club that was not in the highest region of the first division, of the Premier League, of Eredivisie.
I want to take you to Feyenoord.
Yes.
Because there you are becoming a special player for the team, and you are meeting a special person.
Yes. So the first year we played, we were, so that was for me the first time I played for a bigger team. They were not playing that well in those days. Maybe 5th, 6th, Feyenoord.
Did you make the choice because you know that you would have game time at Feyenoord?
No, also, but the thing is in my feeling was always, I want to go to the underdog.
Really?
Yes, because the underdog, there's so much to do, there's so much to help, and I had the confidence that I always could help a team. Okay. And of course, it doesn't work always immediately, but if you go to a team that always wins, it's normal. If you go to a team that doesn't win and all of a sudden the things go well, people are very grateful. People are happy. It's a very nice environment. So that was the thing that I was looking for all my career. All my career was like that.
It's really strange to have that thought process, in terms of picking your clubs.
Because I remember I was invited, when I had to make the choice, I was invited in a show, a television show in Holland. And the host asked me, "Why do you go to the bad club like that?" I said, "Look, when we win the championship, you're going to invite me again." And it happened, of course. It happened. Yeah. And I was invited again. So it was a nice feeling. But I was always confident that for some reason I went somewhere to help the club becoming better. That was always my goal.
Amazing. What was it like to be associated and play with Johan Cruyff?
Yeah, so the first year was was okay, but was not. Then Johan came. Johan came out of revenge because he was not well treated by Ajax. We talk about Ajax, Okay. He was not well treated by Ajax, and he came as a revenge. He came to Feyenoord. For me, that was the most important thing as a developer, as a young player. I had a coach on the pitch. And Johan was, somebody who could talk, somebody who had a vision, and he was already, I think, 36 years old. And he came every day. He came into the training ground, and sometimes I was thinking, okay, I'm going to get that ball from him. But he was bony, you know. So if you go close to him, it always hurts, you know. Everything what you touching him is hurting yourself.
Okay.
And he was so quick. In the first
Sharp.
5 meters, he saw everything. So on the pitch when he was playing, he was like a director. He was pointing already where you had to go to all the team. So therefore, that year we won the double with him. And that was unbelievable. So I learned a lot from him. And then on the end of the season, we were having a trip in Thailand, and we were in the elevator together. And then we start talking. And I think we talked something like 2-3 hours together. And then he explained to me, he says, Rudy, he says, you have to make other players better. And I was like, okay, I still have a lot of attention myself, you know, for my own game, because I was learning still. And he said, no. He says, you have to be careful. I says, because you are a football player that everybody wants. But if you leave, people will not accept it. People will be very angry when you go to another club. Mm-hmm. I had the same thing when I went from Ajax to Barcelona. People were angry with me. They sent him a big spider in a box at home. All these kind of things. So he says, people are getting angry. So be careful. So you know that it's going to happen. When you leave here, you're going to have a lot of difficulty. And I was like, remember, okay, I have to make it better. This is what I got. And he says, so he prepared me already for something that I still didn't know that I had it, you know, because I was still in a learning process. So the year after he left, things were colliding a little bit. And then I said to myself, no, now I have to leave. Oh, and he was right.
He was right.
Oh, yes, people don't like it. And it was horrible. And I was talking, he's only about the money and the things. No, I wanted to win something. I had smelled the success. So I went to PSV Eindhoven.
Yes. I believe you had probably already attracted foreign clubs, but you chose to stay in Holland.
Yes, I stayed in Holland.
Why?
Because Holland wanted to go, PSV Eindhoven wanted to go also up.
Okay.
I was not ready there to go to...
No?
No. I know that Arsenal wanted me. There were other clubs, Juventus and things. But I was not ready yet. I needed to learn still a lot of things. So I went to PSV Eindhoven, who were ambitious at those days. So I came to Eindhoven, and then all of a sudden, I get responsibility I got. And it was strange. I got responsibility. So I got so much responsibility that I became captain.
Okay.
I changed the shirts of PSV Eindhoven.
You did?
I changed the whole kit because we were playing with white and red stripes socks, black shorts, and red with white. And it like this. It was horrible. For me, it was not. I didn't like it. So I said also I was one of the guys who had a sponsorship with Adidas, and I said to Adidas, "We're going to change that shirt." Huh? And everybody knew I like to play with white socks, white shorts, and the red from yes. So the year later, that's of the last game of the season when we had to change. We played already like that. The only thing they didn't have was white socks, but that came in the new season. So in the second season we played in the shirt. I changed also the net of the goal.
Did you?
Yes, the nets of the goal were too short. I wanted the net to be deep. I wanted the goalkeeper to go into the goal and take that ball out, so you know it is a goal. So I changed that as well. So can you imagine? I got responsibilities, and I took responsibilities of things that sometimes I have to laugh about myself.
Of course, but it's very unusual.
The funny story also was this. 6 months ago, I was in a television show with Van Basten. I do that every Monday.
Right.
And John van het Schip was there also. John van het Schip, coach of Greece, now coach again from another team. Played for Ajax also, and also in Italy. And he tells me a story. He says, Rudy, you don't even, I don't think you remember anymore. I said, the first time I came with the national youth team, 17, 18 years old. He said, that was the first time I was selected for that team. He said, and we were with other 4 of Ajax and things, and we were all selected, and we had to go with a train somewhere, all to the north, because I think we had to play against Germany or whatever. And so he was like, shall we go to the train station? I said, don't you worry, we have time enough. So he's nervous. He says, I'm nervous. He says, then we go to the train station, train gone.
Oh.
Train already gone.
Problem.
So he gets nervous. First time he's with the team, I'm going to be late. He said, Ronnie, what you done? Calm down, he says. So I don't even know that. So he says, I said to him, calm down, we arrange it. Don't worry, everything's okay. So we go, the next train, we go to Utrecht, bus gone. So we have to take another train in order to go there. Eventually, we arrive there. They are in a room already eating and everything, and we arrive there. I go immediately to the coach and I start screaming. How can you do that? We were doing everything to come in time and you just leave us and everything. There was strikes and everything in Amsterdam and you just leave. We did everything. What is this? You can't do that. We can't leave these players like this on the station and everything. And the coach was, oh, really? Have a seat. Okay. Oh, we are so happy that you are. And then I looked at him and I said, this is how you do it. And I didn't even remember. He says, that's the first time I come. And he says he was right. Everybody was happy that we are there. So these are things that for some reason, Cruyff also saw in me. That's a little bit the laws of the street. You have to.
Koning.
Yes, you have to. Instead of being defensive, you have to attack him.
Attack the offense on your
because he's not going to. Yeah, so I'm going to attack him. So he went crazy. So we are happy there. So these are things you learn, and that gave me the possibility to think also of the team in general.
Yeah. So you take care of your new teammates.
Yeah. So So when I came to PSV Eindhoven, all of a sudden, I got the responsibility. I was thinking of Johan. You have to make other players better. And all of a sudden, I realized that. I started as a libero.
Wait.
Yes, I was a defender originally. When I came to Haarlem,
yes,
my first 5 games was as a libero, as a defender. That was my original position when I was playing.
And you thought, this is boring. I need to go in the offense.
No. The second year in Haarlem, when a new coach came, he put me as a striker. I had to learn to play striker. I didn't know. When I was playing for Feyenoord, I had to play as a right winger. I had to learn how to play as a right winger. Every day training, 1-2, crossing and everything. So learning process. So then when I came to PSV Eindhoven, I was a defender. And as a defender, I scored 15 goals. Then the last 10 games, I had to play again as a striker. And I scored another 10. So therefore, it was like this. And then the next year, Ronald Koeman was bought. So he's a defender.
Right.
Okay? But in the beginning, I played as a defender.
You started there.
Yes, this is my original. So that's why I can anticipate very well, because I know how a defender thinks.
Yeah.
So I had to learn a lot of things as a striker, because I wasn't a striker. I had to learn how to do it and how to fix it. So therefore, I had so many positions: right winger, then as a striker, and then as a defender.
Let me recap. You were marketing and commercial director. You were also designing the net of the goal. You had enough of coffee shops, so you said, let's go to Italy.
Yes, but the funny thing was, I had a 3-year contract, and I remember that our president of the PSV already had vision, that Mr. Farai, about the Champions League. He was already trying to organize a tournament with Juventus. Gothenburg was in those days also a big team.
Yeah.
Juventus, PSV Eindhoven, and another team. But Juventus said, okay, we want to participate, but we want Gullit.
Right.
And I said, no, I'm going wherever I want.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, there were some. I was playing with PSV Eindhoven. Never forget it. You remember the Kamper tournament in Barcelona?
Yes.
Okay. So I played in that one, and I played as a libero
Okay. For PSV.
for PSV Eindhoven. I was just running past players. Crowd went crazy all the time. Every time I had the ball, I played out of my skins. So I go to my bed. I open the door. Two representatives of Milan there. I think it was Galliani and Braida, I think, were there.
Right.
But they
Probably.
didn't speak a word English. Nothing. So the only thing they said, you, giocare Milan. I said,
Simple.
okay, okay. Nothing. I could not have a conversation. And then they left again. So then there was some talks already that we could go to Milan, but I don't know. I think that PSV Eindhoven didn't want to let me go.
Right.
And when I heard that, I just said, okay, then you don't want to let me go? Good enough. And then all of a sudden, I was asked to go to, because Philips was the biggest, was the owner of PSV Eindhoven.
Yeah, sponsor and owner.
Yeah, yeah. And they asked me to go to an office, at the Philips offices. I said, what I have to do there? And then I was in that office. And
You by yourself or you with
by
your
myself.
agent?
No, I was by myself.
By
and
yourself?
then Berlusconi was there.
Oh.
He said, yeah, we bought you 14 million gulden. That was the biggest
What?
transfer ever.
World record transfer.
And I was like, okay. It was so odd to sit there. And I didn't realize. And then, of course, when it came out that I was going to Milan, we had to have the last game. We had to play for the championship. We were, the championship.
Yeah.
And
At home?
no, it was away.
Okay.
And it was a small stadium. So I come on the pitch, PSV Eindhoven there. We're going to get you after the game.
Your
You
fans,
leave
huh?
it. Yeah. They're
Your own
going to
fans.
get you. So I was like, okay. So what happened was I scored the last goal. We won the championship. And then all the fans come on the pitch.
Not to
And
celebrate.
I hope so. But I was thinking, this guy wants... I don't know what happens when
gonna
you
get
are
me.
in a crowd. So
Right.
I was running off the pitch like a crazy off to the locker room.
To the locker room.
And because of what Johan said, people will not be happy if you leave. Eventually, I had the possibility to go to Milan. And
But
again, a team that didn't win a lot in
Yeah.
those days.
True.
Also, but they were fifth, I think, also in the and I think that they didn't win something for 15, 14 years or something like that.
Yeah. Milan. I mean, look, when you sign for Milan and you play all these seasons, I'm watching Italian football on TV and I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
What
but
a player.
when I signed there, I didn't know or realize that we are going to win the championship. Not at all. We were there in order to slowly grow. You had players like Evani, Donadoni, Colombo, Virdis, who was already in his 30s, was a striker. Of course, in the back we had Maldini, was already in the left back, and Baresi was there, of course. But we didn't have a team in those days. We were thinking of winning a championship at all. We were just starting something in order to see what's going on. And in the beginning, I was, of course, with Marco van Basten. I came there.
Yes.
And in the beginning, we were playing 4-3-3. But it was on and off. On and off. We played good, we played bad, we played good, we played bad.
Okay.
Then Van Basten get injured. He has an injury on his ankle. And this was unfortunately, but also lucky, because I think we lost at home. I think it was Fiorentina, I don't know for sure again. And then the next week we had to play against our the team that we always feared, as Milan, was Verona away.
Verona away.
Yes, it was always a difficult game. I didn't know that. So therefore, he changed the formation to 4-4-2. And that's where it all started. All of a sudden, we were playing out of our skins.
Arrigo Sacchi.
Yes, but in the beginning 4-3-3, because Marco was there as well. I was playing more from the right side, Marco and Virdis. So therefore, it was a different setup.
In that 4-4-2, where do you play?
I played as a striker with Virdis, and with the two of us, and we were playing out of our skin. And every game we were playing better and better. And I must say, Saki drilled us. And the thing what we did the most was defensively standing in a situation where nobody could infiltrate, nobody could pass to us. So we did that every day, the 4-4-2. So you played. So we played sometimes against. In the beginning, we were playing 11 against the block of the back four and the midfield. They had no strikers, they had nothing against them. Then we played, when it was already better, then we played against 4, goalkeeper 4 and 2 midfielders only. Ancelotti and in those days, I think it was Ivani. I think
back 6.
Yeah, there was the 2 in the middle,
right.
The back 6, against 11. Then it was so good. Then you played against only a goalkeeper and the 4 against 11. We couldn't infiltrate. We could only score from long distance, but no infiltration, no nothing. Could not score against them. So that was hard work. So we always had to be as a team, always be short of each other all the time. Eventually, you get, it's engraved in your memory what to do in certain circumstances. But we did that also in a different way of playing football, because in those days, you could play the ball back to the goalkeeper. So every time you wanted to press, back goalkeeper. So you needed to make a trap. So what we did was we always left one side open so that the ball was going there, and then it has to go to me, and then we attack them. Mm-hmm. And when we did that, as a block, if the ball was going over, it was always offside.
Yeah.
And when we got the ball from you, we went over you, and then we were so quick. And so that's why that was vital for the system that we played with Milan.
Everything you brought into PSV dressing room, and you influenced the club a lot. Did you do the same at AC Milan with the other 2 Dutchmen, or not? Was it different?
No. When Marco and I were there, we were sitting with the Italians. He was sitting on another table than I was, because we wanted to learn Italian, the customs and things like that. So we were not speaking Dutch, anything, only when we were with the 2 of us. But when we were together, always trying to learn Italian as good as possible. And I remember in the beginning, I was used to talk. So I was like, Mister, this. And then he came to me later and he says, it was in the beginning, he said, Rudy, when there is something, come in my office. And then I realized, this is a different environment, different attitude.
Yes.
You can't go screaming like that on the coach or whatever. And so then all of a sudden I realized, okay, this is different. This is a different attitude, different environment,
you have to
different
adapt.
customs. Mm-hmm. So I had to adapt to myself. And of course, I think I've always wanted to talk with me, but I think that in those days we had other players who were the spirit of the team.
Vocal.
Yeah, Baresi was important. Tassotti was already a long time there. Maldini was already a long time there. So therefore you think to yourself, okay, this is a different environment with different pillars, and I come here also to learn. This was a different environment, different kind of football. So I just shut my mouth. Shut up, Ruud. And you know how difficult that is for me. Shut up and just learn and just work hard as good as you can. So different thing.
So we've covered not covered all of it, but the football side, but on the lifestyle and coming to Milan, coming to Italy, the team wasn't doing well at the beginning, but when you became champion, how was living in Milan for you?
Impossible.
Impossible.
Yeah, impossible. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't go shopping. I couldn't go anywhere. I had to go in a shop, and then the shop was people screaming. I had to get out of the back door in order to. I was in a restaurant, and the guy of the restaurant said to me, "Rudy, you have to help me." I said, "What is wrong?" "You have to go forward. You have to go in the front. You have to go in front of the door." "To do what?" "You will see." So then I came there, and I think there was thousands of people standing there waiting for you. So I had to go waving and everything. And then they left. And then I could go inside. So it was crazy time. And it was also
You couldn't switch off.
no. The most difficult. So when you realize that all of a sudden you are possession, you realize that you have no private life now
No.
at the moment. In the beginning, the adoration is nice.
Yeah.
It is nice to people, but to be all the time,
A rock star.
yes, if I sit there on a table, Italians are very open in their admiration. They just don't ask, please, can I? No, they say, oh, I'm a Milan fan. You have to give me an autograph. Then call somebody else on the table. You are eating. And they just come with everybody. So you have no privacy. Anymore, all of a sudden. And I adore Italy. I really do. But that was an
Heavy.
invasion in your privacy. And the only moment you had some privacy was when you are in the car going from home to the training ground and back. But even you had these toll you had to pay, and then they saw you and they were going around your car screaming, they used the klaxon. And that, he said, this is only my moment, leave me alone. I just want to. So then you get a little bit that feeling of a prey. So when you are in a car and you have to stop for a stoplight, you don't go at the side. You go a little bit back.
Yeah.
All the time, just to so that. And then sometimes people just look around again, and they say, and I said, how is that possible? What is this? They're looking at me anyway. So therefore, that was hard for me.
Hard, yeah.
After the first year was okay, but then after that, it became difficult.
It became difficult because
Yes,
you
because-
kept winning. It's your
Yes.
own fault.
It's my own fault, but nevertheless, I owe Italy a lot because Italy gave me a lot of things. Because Italians love the beautiful things of life. They love nice clothes. They love nice cars. They love watches. They love furniture. They love their food. They love their holiday. Everything they admire. Everything is, and it's a beautiful country.
I love it.
Beautiful country.
I love Italy.
Beautiful language also. So everything. So Italy gave me everything. Every time I go to Italy, I love it. But I still act like it's a prey. Like, oh, I hope that nobody's following me. Still, I have that. When you hear Italian, I'm on my guards.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, what it is. So therefore, but I love Italy. And the Italian football was fantastic, playing against the best players of the world.
Yeah. So you covered the takeaways from being in Italy already in your response. I'm going to give you a small, a quick story of me and my in the same topic, being chased by people. I'm going because I joined Inter in '98 from the 1999 season, and I'm going shopping in the supermarket with my girlfriend, and we're going shopping, and we put the articles in a trolley, and we go at the end for the checkout. You have to pay, and somebody comes over me and my shoulder, and he look at my trolley, and he says, oh, yeah, you took good stuff, healthy stuff. It's good for you. Good luck at the weekend.
Yeah.
The guy is
You own.
he's basically shaking what I'm going to be
checking.
eating.
Yeah, you're checking everything. They're checking who you talk with, how long you talk with that person. Is it not a female? Is it not? So you have to take care of everything. So when you talk with somebody and it is a female, you hold your distance and you say, okay, yeah, thank you very much. But look, I cannot stand that long here because other people get the idea of something. You don't know. So you have to be careful about everything. And so that is when you are on the mountain. That has nothing to do with Italy itself. It has to do with all kinds of profession. When people admire what they do and you stand on that mountain. And that mountain can be very lonely. It's a place that gives you satisfaction for the fact that people love what you do, but it is an invasion in your privacy. And that is, for me, it was very hard.
Yeah, it's dealing with fame and what comes with it.
Yes,
it's
all
difficult.
the time running, all the time, chased and everything. It's hard.
Yeah. We move on, Ruud, to the national team. I loved your jersey.
It was the ugliest jersey ever. I tell
You didn't pick it. You couldn't change it like you did at PSV.
It was an ugly jersey. Oh, it was an ugly. It was like like the skin of a fish.
But still to this day.
But it's
a famous
It's
one.
iconic. It's an icon. It became an iconic shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So therefore, national team.
National
We
team.
never won anything. We have been close twice, World Cup, twice in the final. And after, so the generation just after the 74 generation was a little bit of a hole, was a little bit of, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I played with the first team. Kees Rijvers was the coach. And I was, I think, 18 or something like that. 18, 19 or something. Was the first time, it was one of the first times we played with the national. It was not the first time, but I didn't play that much, but it was on and off and everything. And we played against Ireland. And I am playing as a defender. And everybody, we are 2-0 down. Everybody comes in the locker room. Yeah, we have to do this. All the older players and everything. And I sit there and said, no, we're not going to do that. I tell you what I'm going to do. When we have the ball, I'm going forward. I'm bombing forward and everything. So you have to cover for me. You in midfield, this is what you're going to do. And they would like, nobody was saying.
How old are you then?
18, 19 years old, yeah, 18. And there were older players there already, from 30 years old already. So I said, no, it's not going to happen. This is what we're going to do, and this. And Van Basten was also there. We scored, both of us, we scored the winning goals. We won, I think, 3-2. Unbelievable. That was the turning point of the national team, so that eventually the older players were getting out, and then the young players. It took us still 4 years in order to become a team.
Yeah.
It took us still some time because we were very, very young. No, not that much experience, but the framework was there, but only needed because one time we were also being kicked out of a World Cup. I think it was a World Cup or a European Championship. I think a European Championship by Spain.
Yeah.
They had the last game. They had to win with a difference of 12 goals.
What?
Yeah, 12 goals. I think it was Malta or Cyprus, one of the two. I don't even know. Half time it was 2-1, I think.
Okay.
Only. Spain against that team. And then the second half.
It's got 10 goals.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And Johan Cruyff warned us already. Yeah. Said, you're not going to qualify. They're going to do it. Wow. So they did it. And that was a hard wake-up call for you. You don't always get what you deserve.
No.
You don't always. So therefore, you need to take measures in your own hand all the time. If you don't have it in your own hand, anything can happen. So this was a wake-up call. I don't blame anybody in that game. Don't blame anybody for that reason. But that was a wake-up call. I was so
big spank.
It was like, oh my God, okay. I took it, the uppercut. I took it.
But that's what helped you to
get
into
to develop yourself. Yes.
88.
Yeah.
You're on top of Europe, not the world, but Europe.
The year before, I think, the year before, Ajax won the UEFA Cup. The year I left PSV Eindhoven for Milan, PSV Eindhoven won the European Cup. Champions League. Yeah. They won it. And we won with Milan. So can you imagine how many good ingredients were in that team and also experience on the highest level. Mm-hmm. Funny thing was, in the first game, we lost by one counterattack. We played well, really well. So therefore, all of a sudden, things had to change. And we had to play against England. Now, England had a good team as well. And the funny thing is, we were Van Basten was, the first game was a reserve. Because he was coming back from the injury. Right. Milan, the last games he was playing. But Bosman was playing so well for the national team that he get, the first pick. Start. Then the second, he was playing, Van Basten was playing. And we came to the corridor to go to the pitch. And we go past the locker room of England. And then somebody out of the locker room screaming, and I think it was Tony Adams, let's kill the bastards. And we were laughing, and we were like, what the hell is this? That comment was the wrong comment. It was the wrong comment. Yeah, it gave us, the fire injection that we needed. Yeah. So therefore, we We played against England. We won that game, and Marco scored 3 goals.
That was a
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And Marco was in fire because he didn't play the whole season and only the last couple of games with Milan. So he was hungry.
fresh.
He was hungry. So therefore, it was like, okay, we won that. Then we were Ireland. We were a little bit lucky there, a little lucky goal. They was very stubborn. And then for us, the final was already against Germany. You know also.
Oh, your
to win in
neighbors.
Germany,
Yeah, your
to
best.
win in Germany against the Germans was
Yeah.
the most difficult thing especially for the Dutch.
Yeah, your best enemies.
Yes, but and also most of them played all in Italy. Eh? All of them
Yeah,
played
the
in
top-
Italy.
top players, yeah.
So therefore, it was a very good game, and we won that game, and we went to the final. And what a lot of people don't know. After the game, I asked Michels, can I organize a party, please, downstairs in the
coach.
in the bar?
Right.
No, in the bar in the hotel.
Yeah, no, but you asked
yes,
the
you
coach.
can. You can ask the coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. So our wives were coming and some journalists, and we had just drinks and everything, not a big party or whatever. And then we had to go to Munich, and then the day before the game, we went to a concert of
Which group? Rock group?
comes back
Yeah.
to me. Oh, she died already. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I read that
can't
somewhere. You too? No.
So we went to a concert also. So
Yeah.
can you imagine you go to a concert before the game?
Not really, I can't imagine that.
No, no, we did.
That was
And-
your initiative.
Yeah. So therefore, we
What was the idea? Because
Just
what was
to-
the idea behind it?
the idea behind this is to let go of the tension, because the final of the semi-final against Germany, to win in Germany was the most important thing. In those days, you had no internet, no mobile phones, nothing. Eh?
Yeah.
So therefore, we didn't even know what was happening. But in Holland, everybody went crazy.
It was huge.
Yeah, Whitney Houston. Sorry.
Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston, not bad. So therefore, I organized that just to get a little bit of the tension going. Like, okay, guys, it's okay now. Now go back to work. And I remember that on the day of the game, Michels also said, "Look, I know the final has already been played for us, but we still have a final here." He said, "Why not take this trophy? Why not? We are here anyway." We lost already against them, against the
Yeah,
Russians.
the first game.
We played the first game very well. We lost.
Yeah.
So therefore, he said, "Now that we're here, just win
Go
it."
and do it.
The funny thing was, in the final, I found the Russians a little bit better than us, but we won.
Yeah?
Yeah, we won with 2-0. So therefore, it was unbelievable for us, to win that for Holland. And the thing is, you don't realize you have a little bit of newspapers, but you don't know what happens in Holland. No clue, nothing.
It's when you go back.
That's when you go back.
Yeah.
So we go back the next day with a plane, and we have to go to Eindhoven. And the plane, the pilot thinks, "Oh, we're going to make a round around Eindhoven, and we go like this and this." I said, "Can you put this plane down, please? Don't
As
go in this
quickly
and
as
whatever."
possible.
Yes, and all this kind of thing. No, you don't need to do that. So therefore, he put it down, and then from Eindhoven, from the south, something like 140 kilometers, I think, or something. From that moment there, we went on the highway to Amsterdam, and the whole highway was crowded with people.
How many-
Every part of that highway was people singing for us. But so then all of a sudden you realize what happened,
Yeah.
what really
you
happened,
achieved, yeah.
and it was
Amazing.
an unbelievable feeling. Yeah.
Right. Mr. Ballon d'Or.
Oh yeah.
Please, this is amazing. First of all, congratulations, because you are the first Ballon d'Or in the podcast, right? So,
Thank you very
special
much.
mention for
Thank
you,
you.
Ruud.
Thank you.
Amazing achievement. Let me tell you, this is very something unique, and again, fantastic achievement. I know it's individual, but going through your career and all the time you spend and the leadership and everything you explained to me, it makes sense now that you reach that level. And I want to find out why you dedicated your award, your personal award, to Nelson Mandela.
As you know, I had dreadlocks, and I was.
you did?
Yes, I was into reggae music a lot, and especially in Holland in those days. I went to a lot of manifestations against apartheid. So the ANC was the most important group that fought against apartheid. I met some very important people also. And I remember when somebody was Sam Ramsey, he came to Holland and talked with me about it, about what happened, the struggling and everything. And he said to me, Rudy, one thing, also another lesson. There's a lot of people going to ask you a lot of things because they know that you are active in this. But don't let you get used by everybody around this. The only thing for us you can do is play well. Play well. That's the only thing. People will understand what you are doing. So I was always thinking about it. So therefore, now you know, reggae music was about struggle, and the struggle was, of course, South Africa, Steve Biko, Nelson Mandela, all these people that were in prison and things, and a lot of people died. So therefore, it was a normal thing for me. So when I got this trophy, that was for me, the simplest thing to do. It was already in my mind, reggae music, the struggle, fighting and everything. So knowing that Nelson Mandela was in prison was for me the moment that came spontaneous. And all of a sudden, what I didn't realize, there was a huge, movement, huge stir in Italy. Oh my God, there's somebody talks about politics. I don't think it's politics. It has to do about social skills and social. So that was, everybody was talking, who's Nelson Mandela? Because nobody knew, in Italy nobody knew. Of course, some people know, but the most people didn't know who Nelson Mandela was. Now, so there was a lot of stir and a lot of publicity. And it even came all the way to Robben Island. Because after, when Nelson Mandela was freed, and he came to Holland, and I was the one who could meet him privately. I had a talk with him a lot. I had so many questions, talking with him in private. And he said to me also, he said, Rudy, you cannot imagine. We heard it in the prison that you dedicated it, and they were afraid that the authorities were taking away the prize. So you can imagine how they were thinking in those days. And I said, no, this was not going to happen. No, but we are happy. All of a sudden, there was a lot of attention on us. So he told me that. And I still got goosebumps. It was so unreal to realize that he was hearing this in prison.
Yeah, amazing. That's fantastic. Do you think that racism and all discrimination can be eradicated from football?
No, it's a social problem. The biggest problem is that a lot of clubs don't take responsibility. We've seen a lot of times that black players getting yelled at by fans and everything, and nobody does anything. A couple of people went off the pitch. I think in Italy they did that. Most people say, yeah, but you don't have to feel like that. You have to be above it. No, you don't need to be above it. No, that's what we tried to do already a long, long time. No, you have to get off the pitch. Get off, and you protect your players. You don't protect your players like that. And that is what's a little bit a disappointment. We have it in Holland also a lot of times. The last time also, a couple of months ago, player, I think it was Volendam, was being racially abused, and the board didn't do anything about it. Just, nothing. And that is the point. It's so embedded in so many people. I am, 5 years ago, the federation, the Dutch federation, asked the help of a friend of mine who is a television presenter, Humberto Tan, but he's also a lawyer, and asked him if we could help to have more diversity in the national team, in the federation itself. Okay. But the most important thing is not diversity in the low, no. We want diversity in the higher places where decisions has been made.
Executives.
Because we know, a lot of black people know, we can participate, but not decide. Participation, but not decide. So therefore, it was the first time the federation gave us the possibility to have more diversity. In the beginning, a lot of people didn't like it because they were all afraid of their job. Because what happens is, people choose other people because they are like them.
Like.
They are the same.
Yeah.
So, but if you keep that all the time, it's all the time the same.
Changes.
So therefore, in the beginning was a lot of resistance, also in the press, and people they had nothing to do, and this have nothing to do, and this group of people. So Umberto asked me, some lawyers, a lot of women also who are lawyers, who have high places in very important places in Holland, also in business and sports rights and things. So we had and also a girl that had played as a footballer. So we had a really good, important group. A Moroccan who is a mayor in a big city in Holland. So therefore we had a big group and a mixed group. So in 3 years' time, we managed to have a woman as president. So we were happy.
The federation?
Federation,
Right.
woman as president.
Fantastic.
Then Nigel de Jong,
Yes,
who is now
technical
technical
director.
director. And we have Seedorf, who is in the board upstairs. So that is a huge difference already. And you can see already that a lot of things are changing a little bit. But you get, what a lot of people don't understand is that we already know how it works also in Holland. I just give an example of how it works in Holland a lot of times, is that when you study...
France is the same.
Yes, but when you study, okay, France as well. When you study, you go to university, and you have your diploma or whatever you have, you need to have a test period at a firm,
Yeah.
to do business and everything. So they get a list. Jan de Vries, Kees de Dinges, Mohammed, whatever. So, oh no, give me Jan and give me Kees. So here already, these people don't get a chance already. And these are people who are getting frustrated. You don't want to create frustrated people and angry people. But here already, it's not about that you get the job. It's only that you get an opportunity to show how good you are. That's the only thing I ask. I don't want you to have a high position just because you're black or because you're a woman. No, that has nothing to do with it. It has to do, you need to have an intake. You need to have a conversation with the guys and just tell them what you have in mind, what you want to do. And maybe you're going to be surprised how good this person is. And so therefore, it's a miss of talent. A lot of talented people, you don't give opportunity, but you create a lot of frustration. And then after that, when you see the frustration, that's what they do, especially also in the press. They point out exactly that group and to say, you see, they're always aggressive. You see, they're always angry. No, you created this.
Yeah.
You created this mess. You need to talk with these people. You need to give them opportunities in order to be part of society. If you give them the feeling that you are not part of society, then you create this. And that is what you have. And I had a beautiful career and everything. I have a position that, okay, is different.
You became a manager as well, which is something that is not...
But you have to see the whole picture.
Yeah.
It's like you are thinking of a team. You think, I'm not thinking only of myself. I'm thinking for others. I have my career already. So, but if I can improve something from somebody else, that I would be already happy.
So you're still working with that group?
I'm still working.
Until
You know,
today.
the only bad thing for us is that we have achieved so much progression that a lot of other people from other
Ethnicity or...
of other things, jobs and everything, ask our help. But we have no authorities on them because we work for the federation.
Right.
If we go to a concern, like Philips of someone, and we say, hey, this is going on, can you? They say, who are you? What is your credential? So what? So therefore, we like to help more people, but we can't. We have no authority. So it would have been great if we could work for, as a government, you have...
Expand.
Yes, but at the moment, everywhere in Europe, right wing, they don't want to hear about it.
We're not going to go into politics.
But they don't want to hear about it. So we have to have patience in order that people realize, because it's going to escalate. There comes a moment it's going to escalate. And I know in France also it escalates a lot in the suburbans of the big cities. And this is what you do. You need to try to involve these people already there. You need to make them part of you. That's the only thing I ask. Nothing else. Give them opportunities. Not hire them because they're different. No, just give them an opportunity to talk. Nothing else.
I love it. I love it. Look, Ruud, it's time for us to say goodbye. I just wanted to tell you that your legacy on the football pitch is amazing. Trust me. I tell you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you very much.
You've inspired many players, girls and boys, and the work you're doing outside is tremendous. And I wish you good luck, and I hope you are successful. And I'm sure we will work together on some project.
I hope so too. I have traveled along, in a lot of countries. I am here already in Qatar already 14 years. I saw this country also change a lot, change for the better and everything. And I'm always happy to be here in Qatar. So also Qatar, thank you very much. Also you, also
Of course.
thank you for this conversation. Thank you because you had also an unbelievable career yourself.
bad. I'm not complaining.
Not bad. No, so an unbelievable career. So thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you, Ruud.
You're welcome.
Amazing. Thank you.